Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Casey and I'm the only person on the internet who knows what battery acid tastes like, and I'm not telling. I know that usually I'll tell like a lie at the beginning, but I actually do know what battery acid tastes like. A lot of us like the Ren Fair, right? Renaissance, King, whoever. Monarchy. I personally have never really been a big fan of the Ren Fair. I've only been a couple times. I always kind of wondered, well, that maybe if I dressed up, I would have like, you know, a little bit more of a good time so that I could fully immerse myself in the spirit. So I decided that this year I would make myself my own corset and then whoop.
I was also talking to one of my friends about making a corset, and if there's one thing I am, it is a people pleaser.
I'm going to be using a pattern that I found on Mood Society. Now, I know what you're wondering. I don't know, you definitely really seem like you'd be a Renaissance type girl. Fair enough. I did one time have a friend say that I seem like the type who refinishes furniture, so I feel like that goes hand in hand. Like, I like to go to the Ren Fair and wear a costume and run around. What was I doing instead of going to the Ren Fair? Literally anything else. No hate to anyone who likes to go to the Ren Fair all the time. I mean, like, more power to you. I also don't like going to the aquarium, so. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the video, and if you do, I have other content here on YouTube to watch. Unfortunately, I don't have any long form content videos about FNAF unless the demand is there. I've watched a lot of videos, so I could probably give a pretty detailed accounting despite having never played a single game.
Start off this project by printing out the initial piece of paper, which has the little measurement thing. So this is going to tell you that everything on all the patterns is actually the size that they say they are, because they can print out weird. This took me a couple tries to actually get right, because just no matter how I adjusted the settings, it was not working. I got it to work, and then I printed out way too much paper. I really need to get like a projector so I can avoid that, and take the time to put them together like a 10-gram puzzle that we used to do in middle school. And of course, the show of the day for me to zone out to while I just cut and sew things is suits. It's fine. This is technically my second time using a pattern when sewing. I don't really count the first time because honestly I had no idea what I was doing. So this time I am coming at it with a little bit more experience, a little bit more knowledge in my noggin, but I would still say I'm not really an expert. I'm really going at this with a can-do attitude. Using the pattern pieces, I'm cutting it out of my actual fabric. The instructions say to do this on a fold, but because I want to lace it up in the front, I am not going to be doing that. Then I'm just using those other pieces because it's easier than trying to cut around paper. I want the inside to double as both a lining layer, but also it's one that if I say want to go a little bit more peasant-y with the look, that it will be reversible and I can just flip it inside out. Make sure that you're cutting out 2 of each piece. You're going to need one for the left side and then one for the right side, and you're also going to need a corresponding matching piece for the lining layer. The next instruction here says that you should find a river, stream, or lake, and you should walk around them and appreciate the beauty of nature. The road that we were walking, though, was completely washed out thanks to all the summer rain, so we had to stop a little bit early. There was this group of teens way down the road ahead of us who did actually go through it, and they seemed to be fine, so maybe we're just big babies.
Perfect camouflage.
Use this time to focus a little bit on nature. Get caught up on your car repairs, and maybe even spend some time camping.
License to crime.
License to crime!
So my preferred method of sewing has pretty much always just been winging it. I haven't done a lot of thinking ahead, a lot of measuring, you know. I do like little bits here and there as like is really required, but not a lot of it. And I won't say that I've created perfect pieces. I really have not created a lot of perfect pieces, if any. Pretty much everything I've made could be improved on in some major way. But in the end, it was something that was wearable and something that I had a good time making, and ultimately I did increase my skills, you know, even if this much. But I was thinking of trying something a little bit different with this one. I was thinking that maybe I would actually follow the directions this time. Crazy, I know. And if it turns out a lot better, I don't know. But before any change, I'm gonna go play Dance Dance Revolution.
Dance, dance, revolution.
Just finished some Dance Dance. Oh, World's Strongest Woman. This is what a true gamer looks like.
Learning to follow directions wasn't the only change I made this year. I interviewed for a new job, I learned how to change the oil in my own car, and I also graduated from my accelerated nursing program. This is David and I bringing Barb the dummy to my pinning ceremony because I promised my favorite professor I'd bring her along. But more importantly, now I have time to sew. Kind of reminds me of like the Batman symbol. The two back sides, side, front, and then the front. I'm gonna need to iron these, put the darts in on these ones. I'm leaving the front open so that I can lace it up. Since I'm actually putting effort in here, I am ironing it. And I'm doing all this with nails too, which I'm not used to because I haven't had nails since I was like 18.
Just like a little crazy that I'm sewing darts right now. It's like what real people do. They go, I'm going to sew a dart and I'm going to do it a quarter of a centimeter. Okay, now after I did that, I'm just gonna sew the random assorted pieces together because that's what you do in sewing. You put the pieces together one by one and you sew them together. Hot tip.
Why did no one tell me that there'd be so much ironing and sewing? Maybe I wouldn't have started this silly hobby. This is ridiculous. I'm not even on the right setting. Oh, wow, look at this, guys. Wow. I actually ironed seam. I actually measured. Isn't this crazy?
Just going to sew all these pieces together again, and then I'm going to iron the rest of the little bits that have to be ironed before I swap out the thread to do the inner lining layer. For that, I chose a brown, so that way on the inside it would be kind of like the sort of medieval peasant-y feeling. That way I can turn it inside out and have two.
Fit check's not bad. Fit check's not bad at all, actually. It actually fits really good. I wasn't extremely worried about it just because I knew I'd be lacing it up in the front regardless, but this fits like pretty much perfectly. With newfound and admittedly unearned confidence, I then spend the time making the rest of my burlap sack that I like to call the lining layer. So now I have the top and bottom layers, which bottom layer looking very peasant-y. We love it. That's my hair. Don't worry about it. So the instructions say that the next thing to do would be to attach the bias tape. I am not going to put bias tape on this. I just don't think that with the two colors that there's a color that I want to put on it. So I'm just going to instead attach them with the right sides facing. I'm going to go up along the top and the bottom and then flip it inside out. Make sure you line up all your seams, but also I was donating plasma the other day and they put it into my left arm and I wasn't getting any blood return, so this different lady comes over to adjust it, and when she does, it starts like really hurting and then I start bleeding, and so then she puts it into my right arm, and when she does it, it hurts more than usual. I'm like, whatever, and I do my donation, but then when I take it off, I see I have a long worm like mark on my arm, and both my arms were really bruised for like weeks. I hope you found that interesting.
I don't have a hammer, so I hope a mallet will have to do.
I know I said my new thing was reading instructions, but I didn't really for this, so don't come at me.
No, this isn't working. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get back to hitting things.
I'm a big enough person to admit I didn't do this right, and I'm only 5'2".
Uh-oh. Stop. Okay, I pried it out. Excellent.
Mark out on your bodice where you actually want your grommets to go, and then cut out little holes. If you're using 2 layers of fabric, you're going to need ones that are a little bit bigger. You're not going to be able to use the really tiny ones because they're not going to actually be able to sit on both layers of fabric.
So sometimes you have to lay on the floor. So the eyelets that I bought for the ribbon are too small. So I need to go to the store and get ones that are just like one size up. And then after that, it's actually done. Can you believe it? Can you believe how simple this was? It's kind of crazy, honestly.
Once you have all your appropriate grommets, what you're going to do is you're going to take all of this setup, go down into your kitchen, take a metal weight, and then make sure you have that with you on the floor, cut out all the appropriate sized holes, and then what you're going to do is you're going to hammer on top of the weight. Don't do anything that makes more sense or that is easier to acquire or follows the directions. Do this. I think the grommets come out looking a little bit nicer if you actually follow the directions. Mine look like they got hit by a hammer on a weight, which kind of works for the aesthetic of this outfit.
These shows where I'm watching it like during sewing, I have no idea what's going on. They're like, you betrayed this character, and I'm like, okay, I understand that. I don't know how it happened.
I made another corset, but I didn't like this one as much because I did it so that you would lace it in the back, and I can't do it by myself.
I don't know why anyone would want to date Mike Ross in this show, because all he does is yell at everybody. He's just yelling all the time.
Everyone, look out for your grandpas. They're gonna get up and bump their head, and they're not gonna be able to get up in the morning. Here I'm just appreciating how long my hair is and how I'm also still the world's strongest woman. I did just take some time to enjoy being graduated from school before I end up having to study for the NCLEX, which that's actually why it took me so long to finish any of this.
Well, it looks pretty decent.
This is how that corset turned out, by the way. I think it's cute. It's just really hard to wear.
I came into this room to do something, but then I started putting this skirt out. I'm gonna make a skirt for the costume. We'll see if I ever actually complete the task that I was supposed to do.
And you know, I don't think I ever did. I'm thinking right now as I actually record this. I think I filmed this like 2 months ago, and I still have no idea what I was going in there to do, and I don't think I finished it. But anyway, yeah, so I just made a skirt out of like a bed sheet. I just did gathers at the top to make it kind of seem peasant-y, and I watched Suits while doing it. Making a skirt or accessory was pretty much the last thing I actually really needed to do for this, so David and I decided to celebrate, go into the city, get some pizza, and then play this game that we like to call Get Really Close to the Rabbits as Possible. Which leads us to the grand reveal.
So I was trying to wear this outfit to the Ren Fair. This was gonna be the look, and I was gonna prance around, and I was gonna have such a good time. If you live anywhere in the Northeast, you know that it's been raining like every single day forever now. Last time I got my hair cut was October of 2022. I was just busy, so I kind of forgot about trimming your hair. Finally just got a cut. So I feel like that should just tell you about the passage of time. I'm already not a big fan of the Ren Fair, so I'm not gonna pay money to go there in the rain. I already don't really want to pay the money to go there during regular time. Okay, I even made a skirt and everything. It's not very good, but I made it. It's like the exact precise level of tightness that I needed David to help me get out of it. And he's not here right now, so if I put this on, I might be it's not good. See, look at that. Oh my goodness. Now imagine that I hadn't been lazy and I took this other bed sheet and like actually made it. That would have been so unfair. That would have been so unfair. It looks so good.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine.
Ooh, back in the day, you used to do that with your shirts. Oh yeah, baby. That's the ticket. How would I even know? Oh my god, it's Ren Fair. It's Ren Fair. My goodness. It's called Ren Fair, baby. Look it up. They make you pay $1 billion, and you go and you watch. It's like the Ren Fair is just like a different type of like Disney adult, and I stand by that. This would have been so cute if I actually went through with it. This would have been so good. Hello, ye old. Hello. But I've been really busy, guys. So I graduated nursing school, right? Like I was doing that. And then I keep telling them like, oh yeah, like I'm busy right now because I'm studying. And they're like, but you graduated, why are you studying? Because you have to take the boards. You're not just done when you graduate. So I'm studying still, and I have it scheduled. I can't just like be like, yeah, I'm studying, look at like one review topic a day. It's like I actually have to really look at things. So they were telling us like, oh, actually you don't even really need to study. Like you could just go take it and you'll pass. Okay, I mean like maybe, but I don't know. Yay old. I guess I was just never really like the medieval fantasy type. Up until recently, I had a lot of shame being weird in public, so I could never really get into like the LARPing aspect of it either. Like up until recently, you had shame. I know. The pattern was extremely simple to follow, but I'm really happy with this. If you like it, you should make it. I put this on and I feel very like, come little children, I'll take thee away. It's very hocus pocus. It's giving like, sisters. If you're trying to make something for Halloween as well, like this is a really nice and really beginner friendly, in my opinion, bodice tutorial. It came out really nice. It's giving sucking the souls out of children. Oh my goodness, like I'm gonna be kidnapped. It's 16th century Salem and my soul's gonna be sucked out of my body. And then here it is in peasant form, reversible. I just like that you can kind of make multiple. Giving peasant, giving poor, it's giving, please sir, our living conditions, they're horrible, please. But I don't know anything about what the king is up to. I'm just a scullery maid. Like I said, I'm not really that entrenched into the medieval fantasy genre, so I don't know what people say. I hear that the great witch fairy has been casting spells on all the townsfolk. Oh my god, what if I was like one of those like NPC TikToks? Yummy. 10 out of 10. Stop right there, criminal scum. I mean, I've played Skyrim and I played Oblivion, so that's probably about as close as I've gotten. Is that technically medieval fantasy? I mean, kind of. I don't really know. I'm also not a genre expert, but I would say. It's also nice is that it's like pretty comfortable. How more could you want?
Thank you everyone so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Here I am wearing the corset out to the mall. It's very multifunctional, and hopefully I'll see you again soon.